Hi. Thank you for always tuning in. Thank you for coming back. Today we are going to be cutting an off-shoulder princess dart. An off-shoulder. Have anyone ever told you can cut the back and the front together? If not, please pay close attention to this. We will be cutting the front and the back together. But before then, fabric should be on fold. Then take out 17 inches. You can do 18, but not less than 17 inches. This is the back. That is the back. While this is the front. Place the front on top of the back. Place the front on top of the back. Then forget about that shortage. It will connect back. Then mark out your zip allowance, which is 1.5. You can do 2 or 1, but I'm using 1.5. Then connect that. Then take the front, place it immediately after the zip allowance. Place that immediately after the zip allowance, the front. When you're done doing that, then first you mark out your shoulder line. The shoulder I'm working with is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Because it's an off shoulder, I'm minusing 1.5 from it. You can minus 2, but I'm minusing 1.5. So I'm marking 6.5. Then you take out your horizontal measurement. Because it's off shoulder, I'm minusing 4. Then my armhole is 8.5. Bust point is 11.5. Shoulder to under bust is 16. While shoulder to my half length, which is my waistline, is 18.5. You mark. You still do the same thing, just for me to have a straight line. I'm marking the same thing. Then, when I'm done, I connect all the whole straight line, all the whole vertical. I connect everything, all the whole mark line, all the whole vertical. I connect everything. I connect everything. Remember that is the back and this is the front. I'm cutting the two together. I'm cutting the two together. Then the next is for me to cross check if my measurements are accurate. Then the next step is nipple to nipple. Nipple to nipple is the distance between the two breasts. Mine is 4.5. Say cross check your measurement. Always cross check measurement before going to the next stage. to avoid mistake. Then the nipple to nipple, I'm working with, mind you, I'm facing the center part. Back center and front center, that's where I'm facing. On the bust point, on the waistline, I mark my 4 inches, nipple to nipple. On the under bust, 4 inches. Then the bust point, I'll be minusing ½ inch from there. I'll be minusing ½ inch. So I'm marking 3.5, 3.5 inches. Why am I minusing 3.5? Is for the bust to have extra space, because that is the bust point. I'm marking 3.5 there, so that the bust will have extra space. Mind you, I'm facing the center front and center back. Then connect the lines. I'm connecting the lines. Then the waistline, from there, I'm minusing 2 inches. Waistline, 2 inches from the waistline. Then on the nipple point, you come down by 1 inch. Then you go up by 1 inch. Why are we doing that? Just for us to avert that sharp pointed at the nipple point. That's why you have to come down by 1 inch and go up by 1 inch, because that's where you'll be connecting from. Then on the armhole, I mark my bust. I have bust 46 divided by 4. I have 11.5. Then I mark that and connect that to the shoulder line. Then I divide that into 2. Then mark. From there, I will connect that to that 1 inch up. I use my curve ruler to connect that. If you don't have your curve ruler, you can use your free hand to do that. I'm connecting that to that 1 inch up. Then I'm blending that with my curve ruler. I'm blending that just to avoid the sharp points. You have to blend that very well. It must not be the curve ruler. You can use your hand, free hand, to blend it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for always coming back. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, please put it on the comment section below. We will treat that together. Then the 2 inches on the half length, connect it to underbust. Then from there, use your curve ruler and connect that to your bust point. use that and connect that to your bust point. Then on the armhole, I'll be minusing 1, but half on the under part, then half on the upper part. That is 1, that will make up 1 inch. Then I'll connect that to the armhole line. I'll connect that to armhole line. Then that 1 inch I took, I'll be putting in the back. That will be my new armhole line. Then I'll connect that back on the armhole line. That is my new armhole line. You can see that our princess cut is reporting already. Then now I have to do my neckline. I'm using 4. You can do sweetheart neckline, straight neckline, curved neckline, canoe neckline, any one you want to use. But in this case, I'm doing a sweetheart neckline. I'll use my curve ruler to connect that. I will connect that to the armhole line, which will stop at my shoulder line. Connect it very well. Then the back, I'm doing V-neck. I'll be using V-neck. I'll be taking 9. Remember, 4. You minus 4, so I'm taking 9. So I'm connecting that also to the armhole line, V-neck. That's for the back. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Then my vertical measurement, the bust I'm working with is 46, so I have 11.5 plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance. You can use 2 inches or you can use 1, but in this case I'm using 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then I mark bust points, the same thing, I mark. Then my round under bust of my client is 40, so I have 10. But note this, on the center front I have 4 inches. Instead of me to start from center front, no, I will start immediately after the dot line. Watch this part closely. That's where I will start. Yes. To avoid shortage, I mark my 10 and I put my 1.5 inches sewing allowance. Then on the half length, my waistline of my client is 42. I have 42. Excuse me. I have 42 there. But note, I will start from immediately after the dot line. Then mark whatever I get. Then mark my 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then connect that. No, you can see that our princess curve has reported already. Then you take your time to calculate all what you have done before you start cutting, because once you cut, it will be difficult for you to amend that. So just do your calculation very well before you do your cutting. Do your calculations well before you do your final cutting. On the half length, I will go up by 1/2 inch, then connect it back to the half length line, then trim that off. Just for me to avert the breach at the back, so that the zip won't have a breach at the back. Then I cut. Remember, I have the back and front together. I cut direct from the bust to bust line. That's where I'm cutting from. Now I have the pieces together. Here is the front. I have to take off the back. I'll come to that later. I put that aside. Then I'll work with the front first. Then I have to cut that line, that 2 inches that line. I have to trim it off now. I have to trim it off now. And the armhole, I have to trim that also. If there is any question that you want to ask, you can do that. I have to trim off all those excess. Then the neckline.
Then the neckline, you cut
I
it
have
off.
to trim that.
Then you trim the armhole. Princess, that front
Then the armhole,
is ready. Princess, that
I have to trim that.
front is ready. Then for the back, you place
Here
the
comes
front to the back side.
the princess curve.
Make sure it's equal. Then you trim it off.
Our
That is the
princess
center front.
curve is
On the
ready
zip side.
for the front. Our princess curve is ready for the front. Then the back. I used that to trim off the back. I use that to trim up the back. The center front and the center back. Use the front to trim off the back. All those excesses you have, use that to trim it off. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back. The neckline. Thank you for coming back. Here we have it, the front and the back princess cut. Thank you.